Shanti, Shanti. Namaste, everybody. Most welcome. And over to you, Pragyaji.
Namaste, everyone. So today we have Dr. Kalika Uttarkar who will be talking about parenting and the need for it. And just to introduce her to those who are new to the HUA community and HUA webinars, she's a distinguished scholar, and she holds MA and PhD degrees in philosophy from University of Pune, and she also has a master's in psychotherapy and counseling. She has made significant contributions to the fields of philosophy, yoga, and mental health. Dr. Kalika wears multiple hats. She is a yoga and psychological counselor. She's a motivational speaker, and she also has a YouTube channel. And the channel is dedicated to parenting, relationships, and self-help. She also conducts life skills, corporate training workshops on yoga and mental health sessions. So, Kalika ji, will it be okay if I share your YouTube and LinkedIn
Sure.
links here? Yeah.
Yes, sure.
So I will share with the audience the links where you can read more about Kalika ji's achievements and accomplishments. So now we will invite Kalika ji to please start the webinar. Over to you. And whoever in the audience would want to have questions, you can directly ask. We are not too many of us now. So whoever wants to join this, raise your hands or send a message. I will upgrade them to the panelist, and you can directly, we'll be able to see you and talk to you both. Will that
Thank you.
be okay, Kalika ji? Thank you so
Yes, yes.
much.
Sure,
So,
sure.
over to you, and let's begin. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pragyaji, for that generous introduction. It's always pleasure to be on the platform of HUA and connect with people on different topics. So, parenting is a topic which is very close to my heart because it is all about application. So, I feel that knowledge without application has no significance because it has to be applied. And that is the core characteristic of Sanatan um, philosophy, because anything and everything that we learn, we understand, it has to be incorporated into our experience. Then let it be the experience of moksha. So everything that goes towards moksha also needs to be incorporated into our behavior, which leads to chitta shuddhi. So coming to parenting from the perspective of Sanatan Dharma, Upanishads, Ved, Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Shastra, not just Patanjali Yoga Shastra, but Yoga Shastra in the broader sense, which comes from Upanishads. So all these sections of knowledge, ultimately the purpose is to empower human beings and then keep empowering generations after generations. So while we hand over our baton to the next generation, the first responsibility that we all owe is that we should become saksham. So therefore, I started with this asatoma sadgamaya, that is from darkness to light. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya, that is darkness to light. Asatoma sadgamaya is from ignorance to knowledge, and ultimately it is mrutyurma amrutam gamaya. So it is from my limited existence where feel that I'm going to die, I'm going to end. I should understand that no, I am not something which is perishable, but I'm imperishable. And what is that? The ultimate reality. So going towards it. So the overall journey is from being unlimited. We often feel that I am limited, I am constrained, I have limits, I cannot do that, I want this, but I don't get this. So, constantly, we all are living in a deficit mindset because we feel that I am limited. So, the whole attempt of Sanatan Tattvajnan or Sanatan philosophy is that to make one realize that you are not a limited jiva, but there is unlimited potential within you, and one has to realize this. Now, coming to parenting, the responsibility of myself as a parent is not just to provide resources to my child, but an additional responsibility which Sanatan Dharma puts on my shoulders is that I should also create an environment. I should also create resources where my child will also realize that it is not this limited living being with this limited small body with limited aspirations and desires, and not get stressed up with simply my grades, my jobs, my business success, and all that. But there is a larger than life goal, that is to realize the unlimitedness. And so, to serve that purpose, it becomes important that we are well equipped with the philosophy of Upanishads, philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, and therefore, Hindu dharmic parenting becomes significant here. So, there is a big question mark: do I know why I am a Hindu? So, this is a question that we all need to ask ourselves. Do I know why I'm a Hindu? We all will get different answers. Sometimes it is, yes, yes, I am Hindu because my parents are Hindu. I am Hindu because I'm a vegetarian. But Hindus are also non-vegetarian. So that is not a distinct quality. Then I'm a Hindu because I believed in Shiva, I believed in Krishna, I believe in Shakti. So all these are different things. But then what is it? I mean, I would say, what is the exact thing which defines me as a Hindu? If we ask this question, then it is that when I believe that asatoma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrutyurma amrutam gamaya is the gist of my living. When I believe in that ultimate reality, that is Brahman, then I might believe in Nirguna Upasana, Saguna Upasana, different kinds of Saguna Upasana. It doesn't matter. The fundamental thought that I believe I am not limited by my body, my mind, my thoughts, but I'm an unlimited source of, I mean, I wouldn't say source, I'm unlimited. Just let us not define that. Sometimes we will say it is Ananda, sometimes we will say it is energy. I mean, different names will be given, but believing in something that is unlimited. Now, how to take all this knowledge to young kids, young as toddlers, young as primary school children, middle school, teenagers, young adults. So, how to take? So, this course is about that. Now, some people will say that we are doing a lot about parenting. Um, See, I would bring in three very beautiful concepts in this reference. I often, uh, I mean, I really like this concept. See, the distinction is Prakruti, Vikruti, and Sanskruti. Prakruti is nature. So we all are human beings. By nature, we are hungry, we are angry, we are hangry. All these things happen. We have jealousy. We all have all shed repose. Sometimes we love, sometimes we hate, we laugh, we cry, everything. That is Prakruti, nature, as it is. But some people, they drop below this level. Like if you go into the jungle, we see that if you are on the Discovery Channel often, then you will see that animals, they kill other animals only when they are hungry. When they are not hungry, they don't kill each other. That is Prakruti. That is nature. But when men kill other animals just to produce good purses, good attire, simply because I like somebody's fur, simply because I like somebody's tooth, that is beyond my necessity. That is Vikruti. So anything that is not for my sustenance but for my mental satisfactions, aspirations, and I start exploiting the resources around me, that becomes Vikruti. Now, Sanatan Dharma talks about Sanskruti. Sanskruti is going beyond Prakruti. Leave aside Vikruti, that is falling down. Let us not fall down, but let us rise above. And that is Sanskruti. Sanskruti comes from the word Sanskarana. Sanskarana is there is some processing. This processing that is happening over my mind, over my intellect, over my body, That is culture, as it is translated in English. Now, it will not be an exact translation, but this is somewhat closer to that. That is when I decide that whatever I have, I need to enhance my abilities, I need to enhance my awareness, and path towards that is Sanskriti. Now, culture will not have all these meanings. It will have limited meaning. That often happens when we translate Sanskrit words in English. So, Sanskriti is a very powerful word. So, how do we take our family, our children from Prakriti to Sanskriti is all about parenting course. So, we have designed this course in 11 weeks and we will be trying to introduce different concepts on the philosophical level, cultural level, physical development level, day to day routines. At the same time, we will also try to handle the challenges faced by the modern parents. The immediate challenge which comes before us is social media addiction. Now, equally, parents and children both are into that. So, how do we stay away from that? So, as a family, how do we start enjoying each other's company? Sometimes, when you visit a restaurant, you see that four or five people in the family are sitting in a restaurant, everybody's on their phone. So that is a time, that is a family time. We are expected to talk with each other, but we are engaging into our phones and we are there for a dinner or a lunch. Now, that is a common scenario that's happening. Now, recently, I had my visit back in India and I just came from there. And it was surprising. Every time I visit after a year or two, things have rapidly changed. So I see that the social media addiction was amazingly, I don't know, I shouldn't be amazed, but I was sad to see that it has gone beyond a level. Even small children at 3 years and 4 years will have their independent mobiles in their hand, cell phones in their hand, and they are busy. Even in the prams, children are having their cell phones. Where husband wife they're having their dinner but the child is busy watching on the phone. I mean, all kinds of incidents I could see. So where are we heading to? So, are we enjoying our own company? The answer is no. I don't enjoy my own company. How will people enjoy my company? And when will I have time to enjoy others' company? So, all this is missing out. So, somewhere this may take us from Prakriti to Vikruti eventually. So, to stop this downward movement and to turn it, make a U turn and take it upwards, rising above what we are, and unleashing our real potential is about Hindu dharmic parenting. So so this is thing. Now, what are we going to teach? The main four pillars of Hindu dharmic parenting are taken from the Upanishadic philosophy. The first and the foremost concept is Atma Bodh. So the first pillar is Atma Bodh. Who am I? Where from I come? What is my end? So what is my identity? From here, from the philosophical questions to what is my geographical identity, what is my political identity, my parents' identity and my identity, is it interlinked or are they different identities? Then, is my identity shared with my community or am I still different? There are different aspects to this. So let us try to understand our real identity and how to link it with the different sub roles that we play. Depending on the role that we are playing, our identities keep changing. So, how to be interconnected in our all the roles at the same time have an spiritual identity, which can give us lot of strength and which can enhance our roles that we are playing. So that is about Atma Bodh. So how to develop it within us as parent and how to transfer this to our children as young as 1 year old, as young as 4 year old, as young as 10 years old. How to have a dialogue with them. What are the different techniques and types? What can be the tools that we can use? So that is about it. Then the second major aspect is about Viveka. Viveka is we should be able to make a distinction between what is Sat and what is Asat. That is what is real, Sat, Asat, Vivek. So, if we can distinguish between what is real and unreal, then it becomes easy to distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. So then we don't have to discipline our kids and say, hey, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. No, 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 no. Children are annoyed with this, don't do this. Often modern psychologists say that tell children that what they should do. I mean, you don't have to tell them what they should do. Because if they have this Atma Bodh, and if they know what is real and what is unreal, then they are very smart enough to understand what is right and what is wrong. So 80% of parenting is done here. If the children know what they have to choose and what they have to leave aside. So, how to bring in this kind of thought in our parenting is all about developing vivek. Then is karma. So, what is karma? What is dharma? All this will come into it. What kind of action should I do? What is the parameter of being right? What is my duty? What is morality? What is immorality? All this discussion will be in this. And at the same time, am I just performing actions for myself and my family, or am I also um, should I also do something for the society? Then here comes the concept of runa. So matru runa, pitru runa, samaj runa is there. So here comes the concept of seva. So seva should be a very important aspect of my life. How can I bring that through parenting? How can I develop this quality? So that is the third pillar. And then last but not least is the aspect of self control. Now, Yoga Shastra starts with Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Anushasana is yoga. Yoga Anushasanam. So, what is Anushasana? What is self discipline? How will it help to develop my Chitta Shuddhi? How will it help to develop my emotional intelligence? Because without self control, emotional stability is not possible. So, with the help of yoga, how can I develop a very a beautiful space within me, which says that emotionally I'm strong, I'm stable. So that is something which we will be discussing. So yoga, Ayurveda, these are certain aspects which can be inculcated into that along with the philosophy. So that is thing. And then after these four pillars, last but not least is the concept of Anand. All this is not a very serious thing. Okay, everything has to be a happy experience. Parenting is not something like now I'm a parent and let me do this. Nothing serious. Sometimes people say I'm meditating and they sit for meditation and they make funny, angry faces. That's also very funny. I mean, why? Meditation is relaxing. So, parenting also has to be relaxing because this concept of ananda is there, and ananda comes from within. So, how to bring in this element of ananda coming to different levels, even at the level of joy and enjoyment? So, it has to be joyful. So, meditation should be joyful, pranayam should be joyful. Having food in the family, having happy meals together is a joyful experience. So, how to bring in and keep bringing this element into every process, and ultimately try to understand that real happiness is within me. I am here just to exhibit what is in me, not to extract what is not in me. Once the child understands this, that in this world I am here to share and not to extract, automatically this economy of exploitation, industry of exploitation, politics of exploitation, families on exploitation, relations of exploitation, everything will be cancelled. Why that is happening? Because the thought that I am complete, I have happiness within me is has lost its presence in the minds of people. And here is the uniqueness of Sanatan Dharma, uniqueness of Upanishad, uniqueness of Hindu dharmic parenting, which actually the whole world needs. Well, if this is understood, all the systems around us will fall in place. But because this is missing, there is no balance. Economics has no balance, politics has no balance, geopolitics has no balance. Why? Because there is a lot of selfishness, exploitation coming from insecurity. That unless and until I get something from outside, I won't be happy. So this shift, paradigm shift has to be made, and this can be done with the help of Hindu dharmic parenting. So overall idea of thought process is what I try to give. So, with this, I think we can open up for the questions, and through that, we can take different topics.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kalika ji. It was a pleasure listening to you.
Thank
And I would invite Jyoti Suravarjula ji. Uh, so, for people who do not know her, she is an admin staff at HUA and also a student at both certificate and graduate level. She is joining us today, I think, as a parent more than a staff. So over to you, Jyoti ji. So you can, if you have any questions or if you want to discuss some points with Kalika ji.
Namaste, Kalika ji. Namaste, Pragya ji. Thank you for that introduction, Pragya ji. So I actually came with a bag of questions, a whole lot of questions about why this, why that. But I think you addressed some of those questions in your introduction. One of my first doubts was why Hindu dharmic parenting? Why are we not calling it something different? I think you kind of address that within your introduction a little bit. You could elaborate on that. And a related question was, what is its uniqueness? I mean, why should I join this course? What will I get? I think that also a little bit I felt you touched, but if you could elaborate on both those points a little, it'll be helpful.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Jyoti ji. Nice to see you. And yes, a very beautiful question. Well, Hindu dharmic parenting has three aspects to it. What is Hindu? What is dharmic? And what is parenting? So these are three different dimensions on which we will be working. When we say Hindu, it is more of a Sanatan philosophy. Now, this includes all the sampradayas, everything, and it has a fundamental strength of its philosophy. So, from that perspective, it is Hindu. Coming to dharmic, dharma is a word which is understood. Dharana dharma ityaho. Dharana is sustenance, that which holds, that which sustains the reality, that which sustains the society, that which sustains the individual is dharma, and that is also understood as duty. So all that action, all those actions which holds me, which holds the society, which holds the family, that has to be pursued. And what is that is the discussion around the concept of dharma, which tells us what should we do, what we should not do, not in the terms of do's and don'ts, but in terms of philosophy, in terms of understanding that why I am here and what is my goal in of life and what can be the means to achieve that goal. So from that perspective, it is dharmic. And parenting, of course, parenting is something which is need of the time, always, not just today but always. Whenever this element is missed, is not understood, that society no longer sustains. So as long as the process of parenting is fine, the society sustains. Otherwise there are major issues. So what is parenting from the Hindu lens, from the Sanatan lens, is what we will be discussing. Now, what is the uniqueness of Hindu dharmic parenting, or specifically this course? I would say is that physical, mental, emotional are the levels, intellectual, these are the levels where we try to develop ourselves and develop our kids. Now, the important dimension is of being spiritual, and that is the uniqueness of Hindu dharmic parenting. What is spiritual intelligence is a very important aspect. So, who am I? Where from I come? If this is not answered, like if I'm sitting in a flight which I don't know where it is going, then I know all the techniques and ways of how I should go to the airport, how I should. Somebody has given me the tickets, somebody is taking me, and I'm going along with them, but I don't know where I'm going. So, unless and until I don't know my destination, all that journey becomes senseless. So, spiritual understanding is something which is missing out in our educational pattern, wherever around the globe. It is missing. At the same time, children don't know why we are. See, why moral? Being moral is good. I tell my child, never speak lie, okay? Always speak the truth. We expect the child should say, yes, yes, I will not speak that. But child will ask, why? When it is benefiting me, when it is helping me, when things are becoming easy, Why should I not speak lie? We tell do not copy. Child says, okay, mom is saying do not copy till the age of 3 or 4. After that, the child realizes that that's easier. Why study? I should go and copy. Why? Why morality? Is a question which the child will start asking. Intelligent the child, earlier it will ask. And then why should I do this and why should I not do? And believe me, human mind is very transactional. What will I get if I do this? Is an underlying question everybody has. So what will I get if I am moral? Is another question. So we say no, no, don't be transactional. Certain things are not transactional. This is beyond transactional. Whatever you say, human mind is so restless that it will keep asking, what will I get after this? So as to say, even when the children grow up and when they have to perform their duties to our parents, one child will say that my parents never looked after me as they looked after my sibling. They didn't give me so much. Now why I have to do so much? And we say, don't think like this. Parents have given you which cannot be understood in terms of money and resources. It's your duty, however you polish it. That thing in the mind is always there, that how much did I get and what should I give back? And how this can be handled, that is only through philosophy. It is only through Atma Bodh. It is through the concept of karma. It is through the concept of rebirth. Why I am here? Why I am amongst these people? Why am I connected to these kind of relations? What is my duty towards them? How much should I expect or should I not expect? All these questions are there and they keep lingering even when we grow as big as 50, 60, 80, whatever our age could be. But these questions are there, and when difficult times come up, again they pop up. When there is sadness, when there is failure, when there is anxiety, when there is insult, all these questions will keep coming up. So, at the level of very young level, if this is handled, the spiritual aspect of these things, then children become more stable and more happy. So that is the uniqueness that we are trying to bring in this course, and tools and techniques as to how to take this to the students. They won't sit for the lectures, they won't read those boring book scriptures. They want to understand it in their language, in connection with the world they are living outside, because there are so many contradict things happening in the society. There are so many myths about Hinduism. There are so many wrong conceptions about it. These children, they have to deal with that. Not just in countries outside India, but even in India, because it is highly colonized mindset there also, and too much of westernization is happening, where past, I would say, more than 70, 100, I mean, I would say 100 years almost, the generation has is gradually losing its touch with the indigenous philosophy. And that colonized mindset is there, that unless and until um, I'm in par with the Western world, I am not modern, I am not educated, I am not to be respected. That kind of colonized mindset is still there. And wherever these people get up, get degrees, go and work outside in whichever country, they carry that colonized mindset. So in this course, we also will be discussing about how to decolonize our minds, our intelligence, our emotions, how to free ourselves. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kanika ji. Actually, when you were talking, you mentioned two things. So I will be framing my next question based on that. One was you had mentioned that, kids as young as 2 years will start understanding and asking questions. Why? And at the same time, you had mentioned that even at 80, we have the dilemma. So my question is, what is the right age of kids parents can join this course? That's my question. Because very young parents feel, oh, my kids are too small, I don't need. And very old kids may think, oh, we to bade ho gaye hai, I don't need it. So is there which is the right age group?
Okay, so yeah, once a parent is always a parent, first thing. Because you must be 80, your child must be 60, it doesn't matter. You are still a parent. Okay. So let the child be of any age, parenting never stops. The style may change, the force may change, but parenting continues. Uh, At the same time, you don't really have to be physically a parent to somebody. When we are very young, and if you are an elder sibling, you are already a half parent, nurturing your younger siblings, taking care of the students in the society. So, human being basically is a parent. So, physically, if you are an expecting parent, where if you're a would be mother or a father, that is a right time to start the journey. Nonetheless, if you are not even married, but even then, if you are interested in the topic, you are doing something in the society where you are nurturing other students, other children. Everywhere, parenting is required, because this is a journey where we have to empower ourselves and then empower others. So, parenting is a reflection. It is the aroma of the flower which naturally comes. The flower should bloom properly. The aroma automatically is spread. That is parenting. It's not a forceful action. And if that is natural, it is very impactful. Then walk the talk is not difficult. That becomes difficult when I am not empowered, but I want my children to be empowered. Then they don't listen. Then it doesn't create any influence. So, how to influence comes with that. So, everybody is welcome to this course. Even grandparents are welcome. Parents of the younger children, toddlers, middle schoolers, young adults. And yes, if you are parents of young adults, then please talk to them about this course, and also let them know about our other courses in HUA, because now they are adults and they can empower themselves faster. More than you can do that, maybe you can just show them the resources, facilitate them towards the resources like HUA, and then from the journey begins from there. So it's a happy experience to awaken ourselves, decolonize ourselves, feel more free. So yes, this course is a gateway to that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Uttrakar. So that was for everybody audience. If you have young adults, please lead them to our website. It's hua.edu. There are many courses that will be suitable for them. You can pick one of them.
Yes.
Are there any questions, Pragya ji,
Yes.
that
I would want to invite actually Kalyani ji wants to ask a question. So let her ask a question first and then I'll take more questions. So
Hi.
Kalyani,
Yes, hi. Thank you for taking my question. My question is, in relation to recently there was a whistleblower. His name was Balaji, and he was a whistleblower from the AI, and he spoke up against what he thought was happening, which was adharmic. His parents obviously had brought him up really well, but he was it looks like it was a murder, which is what they're saying. He was murdered because he was too naive. Now, we teach our children all these dharmic virtues and qualities and how to behave, but are we also teaching them how to be in a society which is adharmic, and how to maneuver yourself in this situation?
Yes. Yes. um yeah. Shall I answer this question?
yes,
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 please.
Kalyani.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Kalyanji, for this question. While you were asking this question, it reminded me of Abhimanyu. When Abhimanyu was in Chakravyuh, he knew how to get into it, but sadly, he was not aware about the ways to come out of it. Now, that is a very important and symbolic story which says that in this world, we need to know both. So, whatever happened with Balaji was immensely sad thing, should not have happened. And others, when they look on this case, I think everybody should sometimes wait and be prepared, and then raise one's voice. I don't know what exactly the situations were, so let me not talk on that. But just coming to the topic, I would say that dharmic education does not tell us that you should be weak, you should be naive. It doesn't say that when somebody hits you on the one side of your face, you just give the other side of the face. No, that is a wrong understanding of Sanatan philosophy, which has been deliberately taught us in past 70 years. Okay. The real Sanatan Dharma is Bhagavad Gita, which tells Arjuna that get up and fight, because you are the Kshatriya, you are responsible to maintain the Dharma, balance in the society. It is your duty. And if something is going out of balance, please fight, raise your voice against it. So whenever there is any opponent in front of us which is not respecting us, which is exploiting us, which is doing something wrong, then I think a real Hindu or a real Sanatani should have not just the knowledge but also the courage to stand. And I really appreciate Balaji for that, that he stood. So therefore I said he is like Abhimanyu. So he decided to fight and he stood for it. But sadly, he didn't know the way to come out of it, or maybe he didn't had that much time before he could realize the opponents were very shrewd enough to do whatever they wanted to. So that is something which, I mean, could have been avoided, but it couldn't be. But coming to the parenting aspect of it, we should teach our children to be courageous. We are teaching them to be kind, we are teaching them to be nice. They become people pleasers. We should tell them that you should also have self respect, you should stand for what is right, you should be courageous, because truthfulness without courage has no existence. If we are truthful, if you are right, then courage is its sequel, it has to come. So yes, that kind of discussion also will be there in the course.
Okay, thank you, Kalika ji. Another question from Bikram Paul ji. Sunil ji, I will take your question after this. Bikram ji is asking, in a very progressive, diversified faith and social media influenced society, how one can calmly guide the children to distinguish right from wrong with definitions.
So let me give you a small example of this. Um, let us take an example of see, because there is huge amount of entertainment happening around us. 99% of entertainment and 1% of knowledge is what people see. I don't know, maybe the ratio is even bad than this, that most of the people are using their cell phones and social media for entertainment. So if my child is also using this, then how can I tell my child what to do and what not to do? Somewhere the discussion can be brought in where we are making a distinction between who is a consumer and who is a creator. So if we try to make ourselves and our children understand that I am not a consumer, I am a creator, then everybody likes to be a creator, everybody likes to be a leader. Then when I sit and just consume something, I am killing the creator within me. So then why not do activities, things where my creativity, creator is highlighted? So automatically consumption becomes less. So this is a simple technique where consumption is kept secondary and creativity is given priority. So small tools and techniques are there, ways of discussing topics is there. Somebody is seeing a wrong content, somebody is seeing a, how do I tell my son? So I'm also a counselor. Okay, so sometimes I get cases where they are saddening but they are true. Children as old as 5 and 6 year old are exposed to porn and they keep watching it. Now how do I tell my child that this is not to be watched, this doesn't have good effects? What to do in such case? So they will be curious, they will be given, somebody will give that exposure to them, and then they will go into it, and then they will be caught into that. They don't know how to come out of it, how to handle that. So there also, what kind of discussion needs to be done, what kind of morality we are developing in the house, and then when the child wants to say no, are we strengthening that ability of the child to say no? If we are to strengthen that ability to say no, the child must know the answer why no, why I should not watch this, what is wrong with this. When something is so entertaining, what is wrong with this? When it is fulfilling my curiosity, why should I say no? So once you enroll in the course, I think, because I'm not taking it elaborately here because it will take a lot of time, a lot of counseling techniques are also added, so which we would be discussing of course in the course, but yes, these issues will be tackled.
Thank you, Kalika ji. So I'll have Sunil Desai. Sunil ji, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yeah. Namaste, everyone. My name is Sunil. I'm actually joining from Edmonton, Canada. I wanted to bring up 2 points and see what your experience is in this regard. Growing 2 kids, my both kids are in university now. What we understood is peer pressure is so enormous. Even though our kids agree to the values that we, try to practice and talk about and whatnot, when they enter the circle of peers, the pressure takes over, right? So putting them in the company of like-minded friends or people or kids with similar understanding is very important, and that's where I think one of the decisions why we decided not to go out in the rural area of United States when we immigrated a few years ago, couple decades ago, was that how would we raise our kids without giving them, the friends of the similar mindset and value system? And in the age of internet now, I think this barrier can be easily overcome. So are you planning to have a network of some of the kids who have already undergone this course, they've grown up now, they can lead and facilitate this kind of a peer network where other Hindu kids can participate after going through this formal, understanding. Then we can take this thing to the next level. The next generation will feel that this is part of their identity. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. The other suggestion I had was most young couples spend almost a week or 2 weeks of their time preparing for a baby shower ceremony, Simantana and Sanskar, while they don't pay any attention to what they need to raise a beautiful kid in this world. Can we not put flyers or information in every temple in North America about this course? We try and convince all the grandparents to gift this course to the new couple. How can we help? Or, we engage the network of temples in North America. I'm sure there's an association somewhere. That can take this moment to a next level too.
Yes, thank you, Sunil ji.
Yeah.
Beautiful suggestion. Please contact HUA. Jyoti ji is here, Pragya ji is here. I think you can connect with them. We are doing many efforts where we can connect with the community, form a community. HUA is coming up with different courses. So we have our students of different ages. So we also have a community where we are looking forward to add on few activities, and different kinds of retreats are planned where the community is growing, and we also look forward to have our own HUA students together. So we have growing up with Gita, a course for as young as 10 years old. And we have introduction to Upanishads where even 70, 80 years old of students are there. There's a wide
Oh,
range of students that we have, and we have a growing community. So yes, that's a very beautiful suggestion, and HUA is working towards it. Second thing which you said is people spend a lot of time in Garba, what you say,
Baby
the
showers.
ceremony, baby shower
yeah,
ceremony.
yeah, yeah.
So this course actually, that's where it begins with Garba Sanskar.
Mhm.
So very nice suggestion that grandparents should gift this to their kids. And I just, was thinking when you said this, we spend so much on weddings, and but how many of the children are really aware about relationships, how to maintain relationships, how to have good, how to be a good husband, how to be a good wife? So HO
True.
is also coming up with such courses also. So, all the 16 sanskaras that we have, they really have so much of meaning into it. And it is a preparation to enter a new phase in life. So, that way, understanding the thought behind it, and not just thought, but understanding the philosophy behind it, is a way how it is a way how a person thinks. So, through this course, we are trying to work on that methodology. Once the parent learns this methodology of asking why and finding the answers, how that can be transmitted to the children so that they also ask this question why for everything and go, you see, because it is all knowledge oriented system. You will agree with this that the whole Sanatan Dharma is knowledge oriented. The purpose of human life is knowledge. So, what we have to seek is knowledge rather than material gains. Material gains are required: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So, artha is also one of the purushartha. But ultimately, it's also knowing ourselves, knowledge. So, yes, all this orientation is something which we are trying to develop as a parent. We all must develop, and then how we can transfer it to the kids.
Thank you, Kalikaji. Thank you.
Just missed a small point, which is very important. You said peer pressure is very influential, and children get into that. So we will have a session on that. In fact, how to handle peer pressure. Peer pressure is basically need to fit in. When I want to fit in, I want to fit in because I feel I'm inadequate. And when I will fit in, I will become adequate. I will get that feeling of completeness. And therefore, everybody is trying to fit in. Leave aside small children, even big people, adults. They also want to fit in. Leave aside individuals, countries also want to fit in. They also want to fit in certain groups. Why? Because they feel inadequate. So, this feeling of inadequacy, the feeling of deficitness, has to be removed, which is possible through our philosophy. Once the child knows that I am complete, then that courage and confidence is also there. Then I don't try to fit in all small things. Then I learned to balance between certain things where I would be like others, certain things where I am unique and I am complete. So when this balance is sought, then we don't have to fear about the child's progress and the future. So how to bring in this element is also one of the important technique.
Thank you, Kalikaji.
Thank you.
Kalikaji, we have two more questions. Jyotiji, we'll get back to you after these two.
Sure, please.
So, Jayashree ji, you have been raised your hands for quite a bit. You can unmute yourself and talk.
No, I mean, I think this course is good, like in educating parents, but sometimes kids listen more to teachers than what is constantly told at home. So, talking about all these concepts, could there be a kids course directly?
We have kids course. We have a course called Growing Up with Gita, which takes care of all these elements. That is for the children as old as 10 years. We have two batches, 10 to 14 and 15 to 25. So, yeah.
That's mostly about teaching about Gita, right? What about all these concepts?
All these concepts are there in Bhagavad Gita also. So in that course, we do handle all these elements. So if you have anybody interested in that, then you feel free. Now coming to your first comment is children listen more to teachers and than parents. Uh, I would agree to some extent, but I would differ to some extent. That is because when the child is born, it feels that my mom is the ultimate goddess and my father is super powerful. He can do anything in this world. With this determination, the child looks at us, and till the age of 3, 4, it believes in it. Anybody says something, no, my father, my mom is the strongest, and she's the beautiful person in the world. She cooks amazing. All superlatives are attached to your mother and your father. Now, that is the best part of being a parent. But gradually, what happens as the child goes into school, and the teacher starts teaching, here comes your statement which says it starts listening more to the teacher. So that is also an inevitable process, but the place of parents is inevitable. Even today, when meet my old parents and I see that they are exercising, they are keeping themselves fit, they are happy in whatever odd situations, they are inspiring. Parents keep inspiring children till the time both exist. And I would say, even when parents don't exist, they keep us inspiring. That, oh, my father was 80, he was 90, but he was so strong. He used to walk for 10 miles. He used to do pranayam. He used to be always happy. Even when after retirement, how did he conduct himself? So much of social work he did. See, all these are inspiring things. So, even the teachers are parents, but as a parent, I would say that as a human being, constantly, if we can inspire ourselves and others, nothing like it. So, parenting is all about that. Yes. Any question? Yeah.
Yes, Kalikaji, there is Lakshmi ji, you can unmute yourself and ask the question, and then we'll take a couple more.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Lakshmi ji. Yeah.
Okay, namaste everybody. Wonderful presentation, really very nice. And just for the networking part, there is a organization called Hindu Yuva in the universities as part of Sangh. So if anyone is interested to have any networking for their children, they can try to go and associate with those organizations and have like-minded people for the students, because many times I see the peer pressure, especially the other side. Many of our kids are getting swayed with those narratives and going and literally sacrificing their career or even their lives with
Yes.
this misguided information in many, many universities. So it's always nice to have that support system for our children.
Sure, sure. That's a nice suggestion.
We'll make a note of it, Kalikaji. And Jyoti ji, any more questions?
Well, I had a lot more questions. I think some of them, again, as I said, mentioned, they were addressed. So I heard a parent here talk about peer pressure. And my own experience has been my kids were the kids who looked up to me. I used to read what they read. We had discussions. We still have a lot of heated discussions, debates on everything. But I noticed that as they went to college, because they were not staying in our houses, they couldn't interact as frequently. The doubts were not getting cleared. I noticed that they are getting more and more alienated. Now, this process of alienation can happen at different age for different parents. My experience was when they went to college. For some, it could be like when the kids are as young as 5 years old. They feel alienated, they feel ashamed, different ways of responding to it, but it's the same complex that you talked about, of which is also involves peer pressure. So how can will this course help, is was my question. I guess you have already addressed that, but if you could give us a little bit of how. And a segue question is, how can I be an impactful parent in such situations where
Mm.
my kids are feeling a little shaky, they're not able to open up to me?
Yeah.
That's
Okay, so the alienation process begins when I stop identifying. Okay, so when I'm identifying myself with something, I love it. But the moment I stop identifying myself, then this alienation begins. A simple example is a child, as long as it is 18 years old, it is with the family. So there is a lot of identification with the family, with relations, everything. Now, suddenly, what happens when the child is in the high school? Everybody wants to be an adult as soon as possible. And then they start feeling that now I am adult. And then they start feeling that now I am very independent and I am capable of doing everything in this world. So I don't need my parents. I don't need my mom for small things, though they need. They feel they don't need. They don't need their father for all small things. But what happens is this is also a phase which will go on for 3 to 4 years. Eventually, when again they are into their 20s, they will start realizing that they have a bond with their parents. They start again, coming back. Eventually, after another 5 6 years, when they think about getting married, and more when they have kids, they take a total U-turn, and then again they want to reconnect with the family. So this is a natural process. Now, what sustains through this process is friendship. And what makes a friendship strong are common values, common goals, common modes of entertainment, and loving and bonding moments together. Now, how these can be sustained and maintained is the skill of the parent. So, physically, they might not be near us, but I'm sure you must be connected with your kids through your emails, through your phone calls, video calls. That becomes important. Now, in your video call, when if I keep on asking, like even my son has just graduated this year to college. So initially, as a very anxious mom, I thought I was saying, did you have your food? Did you eat this? What happened? This happened. So after 2 3 calls, I thought, okay, I might be a boring mom because every time I'm calling, I'm asking all these questions. So then, what if he had another friend who is calling? How would that friend talk? And then, if the discussions are changed, then if you talk about some topic, something interesting, so that intellectual, emotional connection is maintained. So, those are the different techniques. What if he had a friend, girlfriend, and how would she talk to him? What would she say to him? Now, as a mom, you wouldn't say all those things. But of course, rather than being anxious, I can praise him sometimes. I can ask about his some of the activities. So that is friendship. So friendship is something which exists throughout age, irrespective of relationships. So that way, that alienation can be stopped. At the same time, we need to be aware and very observing. So a parent can be friendly parent, but parent is not just a friend. Parent is more than a friend. Parent can be a friendly parent. Now, there is a very thin line in all this. So, however friendly you might be with your daughter, with your son, but at the back of the mind, you are very vigilant. What is happening? What is she eating? Whom is she meeting? When did she sleep? Did she get up? No, there are different things going on in the mind, though you are friendly. So, how to balance between that, and when required, how and how much to guide, where to stop, where to let go, where to ignore. All these are small techniques which help us all, and I'm sure all of us are practicing that. But just with the Hindu lens, with the dharmic lens, we need to realize that it is a swatantra jiva with swatantra desires, independent desires and aspirations and goals. And somewhere I don't own my child. I should respect. I'm a facilitator. I can be a loving friend, loving parent, but ultimately, it is its own journey. So we can be together in this journey, but I cannot complete his or her journey, nor can I involve them into my journey. So, where to stop, where to ignore? Upeksha is a very important concept which comes in yoga. So, how much of attachment, how much of detachment? It's all a balancing act, and where I think Bhagavad Gita, you all come to our rescue. So, with that understanding, we come to a more stable state of mind, more mature state of mind, more accepting, allowing sometimes our kids to make mistakes. It's okay. Eventually, having that patience, having the confidence that in spite of that, they'll come back. All this is a process.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vittarka. There's a very beautiful question in our chat. An anonymous attendee has asked, hi there. There are some of us who came into this country when we were 20, 21 years old and had not understood Sanatana Dharma and had a dislike to our way of life because of our society was controlled by the Western values back then. How can we become Sanatanis ourselves? Kalikaji, before I go to you, I would like to add a point that this connects back to what Sunil ji had mentioned about peer pressure for our kids. Both those questions, I'm a student at HUA. That's the first role, parent as well as student at HUA. And my reason for joining was whatever I wanted to teach my kids, I learned that at HUA. I learned Upanishads from HUA. I started to understanding our Puranas, Itihasas. There is an elaborate Mahabharata program and multiple courses at graduate level. And all of that learning helped me be a better Jyoti Suravarjula, be a better parent, probably, hopefully, be a better colleague, be a better everything. So, how can we become Sanatanis ourselves? My experience is take courses, learn, and grow. And Kalikaji, now over to you as a faculty. What is your, as an expert, what is your response there?
Okay, so I second what Jyotiji says, that come to HUA and find resources. Now there is so much of availability on the YouTube also. So from wherever and how much ever possible, gather knowledge, and that makes us a better student of Sanatan Dharma. Now, how do I become a Sanatani? For that, what is the essence of being a Sanatani? As I started this webinar, the essence of being a Sanatani is believing in the infinity of which I am the part. We all are the part of this universal reality, infinite reality. And if we start our journey towards understanding that, that itself makes us Sanatani. So, what is this concept of rebirth? What is the concept of Atman? What is the concept of Brahman? All these are the questions. So, just if we start asking questions to ourselves, see, modern science is also doing the same thing, but it has a different methodology. Philosophy has its own methodology. Adhyatma has its own methodology. Philosophy is not Adhyatma. Philosophy is Tattvajnana. Adhyatma is knowledge about ultimate reality. So that is again an aspect of spirituality. I wouldn't say complete spirituality because spirituality also has different connotations in different religions and in different places. So being curious about one's own existence and trying to find answers to it, at the same time gathering knowledge from different scriptures, is our journey to become a Sanatani. That is what I would say. And I had missed this point, Jyotiji, in your question where you asked, how can I be a more impactful parent? So I would say an impactful parent is one who talks less and acts more. So if now that I'm a faculty at HUA, if I keep telling and teaching my kids all the time, I'm sure they will not stand near me anywhere. So as we all know that our kids don't listen more, but they observe more. And if I can bring in all these values and principles in my behavior, we don't have to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. We don't have to claim that I know Bhagavad Gita and I only behave according to Bhagavad Gita. That's a lie. No one, none of us can do that completely. We all are in a journey. So, in a very humble way, if we accept that I am in this journey, my dear kids, please join me in this journey. You might go ahead of me. I will be happy. So, who is ahead, who is behind, who is with us, it doesn't matter. Just being in the journey is important. So, with that humbleness, if we are into this process of knowledge and if we just include our kids into that, things become joyful, happy, and more relaxed. And then that automatically creates an impact because that doesn't give them a burden to be perfect. So, we are not perfect, but we want to be better versions of ourselves than we were yesterday. Then this journey becomes interesting and we automatically create an impact, influence. So, influence is a side effect, it is not the goal. So, impact is a side effect. So, being powerful, being empowered is the goal. Being relaxed is the goal. Automatically, that is something which people will follow, children will follow.
Thank you so much, Kalikaji. Pragyaji, do I have little time for, or we are over time? I
Yes.
think 5 minutes.
Yeah, we are over time. You can ask a quick question. Then I would
One
like to
short
just.
question. This is something that came up with my interaction with other young parents. To be very specific, young parents. One of the things was, do both of us need to join? Can't just one parent join and सिर्फ माँ join कर लेगी तो नहीं हो जाएगा क्या? To be very, that's how it was put to me. So, what is your answer to that?
माँ कितना काम करेगी Actually, I would say that rather than nobody joining, it's always good that at least one parent is joining, because the journey begins and it can be shared amongst the family members, it can be shared with the spouse, and it is a beginning of a process. So I would say please join, even if you are joining it alone. Eventually, people will join you. Now, there are some benefits of joining together. As an HUA, we also give scholarships if the couple is joining in the fee structure. At the same time, uh, it becomes easy when both are on the same plane. Both parents are on the same plane. Things become smooth and easy. Otherwise, sometimes what happens? One spouse is convincing the other spouse. In that process, there are certain frictions happening, and then there is a beautiful word which says "karya vinash." That the child is sitting there and thinking both are foolish. So whatever we are trying to convince the child says that nothing is right. I know what to do. So the whole purpose is not solved. So for that, it is important that both husband and wife, mother and father, they are on the same plane. Not just that, even grandparents are on the same plane. So as a family, parenting is a thing where everybody has to be on the same plane. And for that, I would say if you join as a family, as a couple, you're most welcome. But that is not our limit. If you are able to join alone, you're most welcome. You be the change maker. You be the change and then create change. And that is always possible, and it will give benefits a lot. Lot of benefits. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kalika ji. That was a beautiful statement. Be the change you want to make. So that with that, it's over to Pragya ji.
Uh, Thank you, Kalika ji, and thank you, Jyoti ji. Both of you made this really interesting and a lot of inputs, a lot of insights. In fact, this thing will benefit everyone, I'm sure, right from people. In fact, even couples who are planning to get married.
Yes.
So it will, right from them to yes, to the grandparents. So thank you, Kalika ji. It was lovely, lovely listening to you. So everyone out there, we will be sharing the recording of this webinar in about a day or two. The webinar will also, the recording, along with the recording, I'll share the registration link of the course. Any questions, if you still have, please do respond to the emails. If Kalika ji needs to answer any of those, she will. If not, we will address your concerns, your questions. And I've also pasted our course catalog for winter quarter that is beginning. Actually, it has begun today, but more courses will be starting next week. So request every one of you to please go through the same. In fact, if you have any questions, any concerns, you can write to us. Our admissions team phone numbers are given to you. You can always call us. It will be in the email with the recording. So we look forward to many, many of you joining HUA as new students, people who are already taking courses. Most welcome to take more of them and learn and grow with HUA with all of us. Thank you so much. Thank you both of you, Kalika ji and Jyoti ji. It was a wonderful session. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, Pratna ji. Thank you, Jyoti ji. It was very nice talking with you both. And I would request all of you, all the participants, to please share this with most of the families, friends, and in the society wherever possible. We all are already together in this journey. Let us spread the message. Today, the need is high. People need to know about Sanatan Dharma, its values, its philosophy, and that will help us to stay together, stay courageous, stay strong. So, yes, welcome to HOA. Looking forward to seeing you all. Thank you, Prakash. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Namaste, everyone. Have a wonderful time.